And I'm going from Zoom to YouTube as everybody's going on. And it's done redirecting. And I have my URL. Let me just copy that, my YouTube URL. And the U, it put a logo on. Perfect. And now we see everybody. And everybody's getting on. A couple people. That's the beauty of being online, is when you're not feeling your very best and you don't want to be and you are contagious, we can keep in check. And those that are feeling a little under weather, I hope you feel better. Okay. Any questions, comments before I begin? We'll do the regular sessions. I'll do some administrative, talk about the rest of the semester, where we're going. Not much left, but I'm excited about it. Okay, any questions? So let me have a couple of people moderate my chat so you can help me. You know that this class, what I love is that we work together as a team. So do I have any volunteers to moderate the chat today?
I can do it.
Okay, so Louisa, thank you so much. Anyone want to join Louisa in looking at that? We really don't have a lot. Any others?
I'm happy to.
Okay, great. And we got so many happy people in the class. Emily, thank you. All right, so we got everyone going. So any comments, questions that I need to do? Okay, so let me just tell you what's happening as we are together, as everybody getting on board, getting their cameras working. As this is what's happening, folks, is today I want to cover with you another chapter, which is chapter 10, which is basically a way to look at information systems, and a bit of what we were talking about, Andres, is what I call enterprise resource planning systems. And among those, we also have a subset of that is human resource management systems, customer relationship management, supply chain management. There's a number of different ones. In an enterprise, we think about it as an entire organization. We have so many departments. Is how do we keep track of everything? How do we keep track of the financials? How does everything work out? So we'll be discussing that. And let me just tell you what our schedule looks like. Let me bring up my calendar. Today's the 4th of November. Tomorrow is election day, so I encourage everyone to get out and vote. I will be voting sometime tomorrow. I would like to vote on election day rather than early. And then next week, we will have another guest speaker. This guest speaker will be coming all the way from the UK, that has who is an entrepreneur that has a chatbot that he calls Fastbot, that will see that you can train it on your own data. So this will be interesting to see if we can take our own data and our own website data and attach it to our own website data. And we'll see how that works out, how difficult it is. I'm contemplating whether maybe we should make it for extra credit or not, doing that. He'll be coming in next week. Next week on the 13th, I'll do a review for the exam. The exam will cover the new chapters that we've done. So it's TG3, which is the cloud. It will also be chapter 14, which is AI. it will be the information systems, which is 10, and also chapter 13, which is analytics. So I'll have 4 chapters that are new for the exam. And then I will add, in addition to that, I will add the 2 chapters from the first exam that I think are the most important. That's basically a continuation of what we're doing now, which is chapter 5, which is data and data management, and chapter 4, which is security. So we'll have those chapters, plus we'll have 2 open-ended questions that I'll give you 4 questions in advance, and they'll cover areas of artificial intelligence, of course, going through those articles that I'd given you about it, and also the cloud. Remember, I gave you a couple links on the cloud, benefits and advantages on that. I'll go over the 13th. November 18th is our second exam. It will be exactly the same format, in person in SBA 204. And it will cover exactly the same. We'll do it. And then we have, after the 18th, we have 2 more classes that I will devote to the project. I want to make it that when you're presenting on December 2nd, it will be the best of the best, and that hopefully I will be giving you feedback, and the feedback I will giving you will be just little things to correct. So this way you'll be completing it. When you do, I'll give you specific instructions on how to upload, what you should be doing for your presentation. But your presentation, you'll be doing it as a group. You'll be doing it with slides, plus you will, of course, show your website. You'll be showing your social media, other facets. You'll be doing it quickly on the December 2nd, and I'll mostly be looking at things that I haven't seen before. You know, I've added this, I want feedback on that. I will give you feedback on it. And then at the time or before of your final exam, you would have beforehand, you would have recorded with your group a formal presentation. That formal presentation, you'll be recording it on Zoom, you'll be recording it to the cloud, you'll be recording it without a password, you'll have a link, and you will be doing your presentation formally for the outside world as if they know nothing about your business, and you'll be presenting it formally. So you'll do a longer presentation than you will for me. So for me, you'll do maybe around 7 minutes plus my feedback. And on the presentation, you'll be introducing everybody in your group formally as if you were going to a group of investors, giving your deck and giving your spiel to them. Okay? Any questions on the calendar or what's happening? I think we're set on that. Anything, Louisa, that you have, questions that you may have yourself?
No.
It's pretty straightforward, okay? So let me share my screen. A little bit different. And let me share my screen and let me go to section J. I will go to the what's due section. We'll look at that just for a moment to see everybody's up to date. So on assignment 9, due this past Wednesday, I asked you, everybody had to set up at least your company, your Gen AI consulting company, and I asked you to read chapter 14, which was artificial intelligence, And we covered a bit about that last time with the Wiley quizzes. We had some issues with Wiley adaptive assignment, and that's been straightened up by Wiley. Again, we can see what the problem of cloud computing is we had to be dependent on the host, which was Wiley, to make sure that their website was working, and also that their adaptive learning session was working properly. It was not, and sometimes it was crashing, but they got that fixed. And the quizzes. I asked you to look at Notebook LM. They're changing that all the time. It's gotten a lot of buzz. It's gotten a lot of work there. See if it works. Some people were trying to do already their URL with a podcast, and it wasn't working. I suggest, especially those that are doing anything about tutoring, anything about students, that you could use the Notebook LM, not only for the podcasting, but just using it as a way to do quizzes, help you study, help you summarize. I think this is, a lot of people are finding this a useful product. I also have you look at what is generative AI with this article, also by the SaaS company, having this article, what is artificial intelligence, and also machine learning, where when we think about machine learning, what is unique here is that machine learning is that we're training the machine, meaning the computer, the software. And the key here between traditional computing and machine learning is the machine learning is correcting itself and getting better as it goes on. Because that's one of the issues here is after it's hallucinating, after it's giving us wrong answers, is it improving? So that was assignment 9. Assignment 10, which is due this Wednesday, is part 3 of everybody should by Wednesday upgrade their Wix, get a domain name, etc. The readings are information systems within the organization. I'm going to be going over that with you today and let you know what is important besides the reading. All of you can read, but what I'm going to show you is some of my thoughts of where is information systems within the organization. How is that changing? And you have their quizzes. If you go to assignment instructions, under assignment instructions, you'll see here the assignment instructions right here that of course you needed to upgrade using the code that's provided. We discussed that you need to use your credit card, but make sure, of course, that you get 0 payment there. Make sure that everybody in your team is invited, and that here the site of producing anything you produce in terms of graphics, I want you to, I wouldn't call it as such as so much as a disclaimer, but basically where was its origin. I think this is great for you because you're showing them what can be done with AI. And then having here where you're showing the tools of the different tools, I'd also like you to give examples of, for instance, if this is a tool for tutoring like Notebook LM, how is this being used, how you would use it, almost the scenario. It may be you may have a couple of people, since there's so many different features, you may have even a couple of people use that same app, but in different ways that you show it. People were also asking me about social media accounts. Let me make a point on here on social media accounts. You folks are familiar with social media. Nobody has to teach you how to post, right? The idea, what I want you to make sure that you think about is what are you posting, and to make it dynamic. I'm saying that at least 2 per week. I think that is minimum of minimum. Also, reusability. Some of the videos, if you have short videos on these AI tools, you may want to post on your social media accounts. You think about yourself, because this project, Louisa, is something that you can take with you. If you're basically doing social media, I want social media that you can be proud of, Louisa. That it's just to say, somebody told me in another class, oh, I'll post, there's a flash sale, 20% off our services. And I say, that is so meaningless. What I would like you to do is give me a tip on, if it's education, give me a tip on how I can do better. Or if it's on mental health, give me a tip on how I can relax. Or if it's a tip, something that you would want to do. Think about it. If you're looking at that social media, does it have any meaning to you? If it doesn't have meaning to you, you shouldn't post it. Just to say the checklist of saying, hey, we got the 8 posts and they're meaningless. It's meaningless for me and it's meaningless for you. You got that, Louisa? I don't know how else I can say it, but when you look at it, when your group looks at it, when your group follows it, right? And even if you're doing a TikTok, you can do something hilarious, or you can do something even, but it can be that it's meaningful. Just to do a funny dance for a funny dance isn't. But if it really is showing, 2 people struggling on a problem, great. You understand that, Amelie? What I want is basically social media. My slackers in the group always love to let me do social media, and they post something, that is so lame. Can I say that it'd be better even to show, hey, did you know? Show even Gen AI tools that can do social media, that can do posts. And even some of those you can tell that aren't good enough. But you can even use Gen AI to do some of these social media, but then start editing it again, to make it meaningful, that you'll be proud of it and you can show it. Just to show somebody that you posted a sale, 20% off, flash sale, you're not going to be, if Amelie, you're going to give me services, I don't even care if you give me services free. If they're going to waste my time, right? Think about yourself. Our time is worth money. Just because it's free or you're charging me $5 or a penny, it's basically that you're giving a contribution. You're giving a contribution to yourself that you're learning and to others. So here I really want you guys to do a tremendous job on social media, that you'll want to post more, that this shouldn't be a burden to you, that I'll have somebody, and there you can do much more, that at least 6 posts here. I think this is not giving it, service. But there should be active posts, and there should be much more than the 6. So don't take it percent that this is what I did. I did for the project, I did these. And then the SEO of the search engine optimization, basically following along with that, you need to have your own domain name. And here it's interesting to know that you won't be found. This helps you be found, that even you can have the best services, but if no one knows that you exist, it isn't there. So I just wanted to, the social media, don't hold me to 2 per week, but more, is it, give me value, that if I'm reading getting your social media, that others can get value from them. Question, Amelie, how can I say it better?
I think you said it well. Yeah. There's no questions in the chat, so
Yeah, but you understand that it really is, it's compelling.
yeah.
Just to put it up, really, at that point, might as well, they have that. Now they even have, oh, this may be interesting to put in the chat, Amelie, for everybody. It's called, I think this is what it's called. I think it's called BTE210-J. I saw it this weekend. Everybody see that? You see that, Louisa? It may be interesting, for everybody to look at this. Isn't that interesting? Instantly convert videos into powerful blog articles. So it may be interesting, Andres, for everybody to take their little videos, their little video clips, and then it puts it into blog articles. And then you can post those, and you may even use this as another, if it works, as another product. And I asked Daniel, Amelie, to contact these people and see. You can try for 3 and you get, I think you get no, what I like is try for free, no credit card required. And I think you can do 3 of them. So maybe even for part of the project. And if you guys give me a feedback on Wednesday, if this is worthwhile, should we ask for an academic relationship with these folks?
Sounds good.
And then, and videos to blog, and here are the features here. AI content generation. So isn't this an interesting thing for, transform your videos into high quality, easily your blogs in seconds, automate your blog. And then once it would do it, then you could take it and then you could just do little edits on it. It's probably not 100%. Automatically include links from your video YouTube description or specify custom link to automatically include it in your blog. Need your blog to do something that is not explicitly offered, add additional instructions and tell our AI exactly what you want. Click to action, easily add stunning call to actions. Everybody know what a CTA is? It's call to action. Easily add stunning call to actions to your blog in one click. Look at this, multi-language support. It really is so amazing how much this could save people time, right? And then you have a blog up to 2,500 words, right? You can do short ones. I like short ones, but anyways, they can do tone, customize it in any tone. This may even be interesting even to use as your app. Almost use it twice. Use it as your app and reuse it as a blog. Take it, what you do, and see what comes up. Have a longer blog, tell our AI to add table of contents. Visuals, blogs are better with visuals, images, screenshots, right? Auto screenshots, easily add screenshots to your blog by letting your ad automatically add to them. AI generated image, add AI generated images to your blog in one click. You can specify how to prompt yourself. And so they power it by DALL-E. Stock images, videos, embed video itself into the blog to give readers the option to watch the video or easy assemble edition. So you can almost do it twice. Look at this. It's almost SEO. We make SEO optimization brief by automating generating just about everything you need from metadata. What's metadata? Do you have an idea, Amelie, what metadata is?
Not really, just
Okay, do you understand?
Like is it kind of like a pixel?
Now, metadata, you remember we all know what data is, right, Louisa? We all know what data is, right? And if I look at database management, right, I can then say, so for instance, my metadata is data about my data. It's not giving me my specific data, but it will tell me. So for instance, any of you ever watch those crime shows or CSI or anything, and they always do like the phone logs of somebody we've matched, and I know that we called from this person to that person. They spoke 10 minutes, but do we know what they said to each other? Right, Louisa? No. What they said to each other is data about that phone call that I called you Sunday night, and you were, let's say you were in Italy and I was in Las Vegas, and we spoke for 10 minutes, that's metadata. So you need from metadata to social media promotions. So even when you think about tags, a lot of times tags are part of metadata. It's not the content. So they do SEO, let our AI automatically generate all your metadata files. Look at that, tag so you don't have to. Content analyzer, ensure your blog is optimized for readability, SEO by checking our content analyzer. Keyword analysis, keyword optimization, social media promotion. Sharing and promoting your blogs has never been easier. Generate social with hashtags, customized for each social media platform. So what would be interesting is somebody just take this and see for your own website when you have to do social media, put some of this in and see how it works for your own blog, leveraging our AI content detector to detect whether your blog passes. Because what do people want to do? Is this all generated by AI? People still want the human there. They're using it backwards. Fully AI generated screenshots, edit images, export. Look at this. This would be interesting doing your project. Anders and Amelie maybe even start it, right? Integrate your website and send blog directly to your website with Wix. That'd be interesting.
Sounds good.
Doesn't it? I mean, it's amazing. And I just came across somebody told me about it, right? Send directly to your Medium. You can use to Word, share links, HTML. This is called video to blog. Video to blog.
I just put it in the chat.
Exactly. Isn't that great? Something so simple. Let's see if the advertising sounds fantastic. The devil's in the details. So you can basically use that as one of your reviews. What do I love is I love to multi-purpose. Use it as one of your reviews. See if you can use it in your own social media that you're supposed to be doing, right? And then evaluate it and see if it's worth it for us. Let me know if it's worth it for us to request for them to give us an academic partnership with it, that maybe we can get more after the 3 times we use it. We love it so much that we want to get it like we got for Wix. And then we can send them a note telling them that we're ready partnership with Wix and Fastbot if they want to be partnered with us, since we're so great, right? And then we can promote them. Everything is, if it's good, and if not, we can give them feedback of what's missing. Almost like to have a small focus group. Awesome. So Amelie, I'll have you be in charge of that, giving me feedback on it. You know what I mean? For Wednesday, and go through it and see what is that Wix connection. That'd be fantastic, huh?
Sounds good.
Okay, great. Okay. So everybody understand that? I think that's fantastic. Video, it's called video to blog. And it's interesting to see the features and the pricing. If it was really good, what's $9? How much time can you imagine, Louisa, how much time that could save you? If you had a job, right? What's your major, Louisa?
Marketing.
Marketing, right? They tell you what do you have to do in one of your jobs is all this, right? For 10 blogs a month, unlimited regenerate videos, right? Auto screenshot stock images for $9 and even $16 if you were an agency, 100 blogs per month, right? For $69, that'd be nothing, right? What's my Netflix account, So it's just amazing. If this was, and here you can save yearly for 38%. But if it's not worth it, it's just amazing how it will help us. At this point, we still need a human to discuss or even kind of people don't know about this. If you could do it, if you're looking for, especially those of you who are doing it for marketeers, giving them this opportunity to teach them about this, if it's worthwhile. And the beauty here is we are not, we don't have any fiduciary interest, so we're objective. versus when, all these companies say something to me, I'm a little wary, because they're telling me it's the best, the greatest, the whatever. Okay, so fantastic. So let me know, all of you too can look at this video to blog that we can put up. Okay, so we got that part, which is excellent. We have our readings here. So if I look at our readings of our adaptive reading, so you definitely, basically, you can think about it. These are, you can put these in your note. These are the chapters for the exam. Chapter 5, which is data knowledge management, which is critical, right? Information security, then cloud computing, artificial intelligence. I'm going to go over information systems with the organization. And this chapter will be our last chapter, which will be for next week, which is business analytics. That will be our second exam. So after we finish that, I'll just spend time on our project. Okay. So if I go into 10, I'll just do a little review here with you, just so you'll get a feel for it. I want to do chapter 10. Chapter 10. I went to chapter 10 and I also wanted to version 10. But basically, these are areas that we're talking about. We talk about transaction processing systems, functional area information systems, what I call ERP, enterprise resource planning systems, and ERP for support. What they're missing here, Andres, is when they talk about enterprise resource planning systems, this area right here is going to change in the next year or two dramatically, because it's going to be added what? Gen AI to it, right? It's going to be added AI to those traditional enterprise resource planning systems. So first, I need to know, what is a transaction? So, Damian, do you know what a transaction is?
An exchange of items or something.
Yeah, I go, Damian, you know it. Let me just go. You can even look up your PowerPoint too. Let me just even take my PowerPoint here. And when I think about this is my wrong chapter. So when I think about a transaction system, let's think about a transaction. Damon. I go to Publix, right, Damien? And basically, when I buy, let's say I go and I buy a bottle, right? A bottle of something. Let's say a bottle of juice, bottle of water. And what do I have here is I have a code on the side. I can either give it to the cashier or I can do my own. And what do? I swipe, right? And that, when I swipe that one time, that's what? A transaction. And what happens? It's any business event here that it gets captured. It gets stored where? In a database. And it could be any transaction here. So it could be something, a service sold, a transaction could be a person hired. It could be a payroll check generated. Any event that you can think about it, that's a transaction. We all can think about it as going to the grocery store, going to CVS, I don't know where, whatever. I swipe, I scan, this gets into my database. I go and I buy a car, right? it gets registered. That car is basically registered. I get these. So what I have here is everybody understands that. I have a transaction processing system. Any business, then I operate, I make a transaction. Any business here, I have a transaction processing system. When I swipe, basically, there's a system in the background. I don't see it as a customer in Publix, but what do I get at the end is they ask me what? Do I want a receipt? Right? Amelie, right? I want a receipt. They can give me a paper receipt. Many times somebody says, do you want that receipt sent email, or we can hand it to you? Other people say, I don't need that receipt. But besides that receipt that I can go out, right? And they say I didn't shoplift, and the guard doesn't stop me and put handcuffs on me, right? What else happens here is in the background, it's collecting that data and it's putting that business transaction into the system. And what is it for? For my revenue. So Publix knows that they can basically see that I bought this bottle of water, right? Also, it's for inventory, that they know that it can be taken off the shelf, that they know when it's time to reorder, right, Amelie? And then also it's going to be put into the accounting system. This is transaction processing systems. They've been existing for many, many years in order to do it. Whether I'm a small business, whether I'm a large Publix, these transactions have been. And then we have also what we have online transaction processing systems, that this is done online. So if Amelie, me and you wanted to go on a trip this weekend, I can say, I'll just book my flight, right? And I book my flight and I get my seat, right? I expect that to be online, right? I don't want to go anywhere to do that. I want to be able to do that online. And I want that to be done not in a batch system, but in real time. Because when I buy that ticket, I don't want to be sitting in somebody else's lap, even though many times what happens is what? They say they overbook. Have you ever been in flights where they'll offer you something where they'll say for overbooking? Because they have a predictive model saying that not everybody ends up showing up to the plane. So we're going to overbook. So these are my transactions. It's continuous, real time. It's handled large volumes. And then I can also have batch processing sometimes, for instance, for payroll. So if I think about payroll, Louisa, have you worked before where you got a paycheck?
I'm starting now, actually.
Really? What are you going to be doing?
Social media.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So basically, that's what I want you to do. So how are they going to, have they paid you yet?
No.
Okay. And how did they say they're going to pay you?
Every month, like to my debit card.
Okay. So they're going to pay you every month to your debit card. When they pay you every month, then that's considered to be batch processing. They're not paying you for every minute that you work, right? Every minute. Oh, I posted some. I posted today. I posted yesterday. I did some other things. They said at the end of the month, we'll accumulate that. That means it's done in a batch. We've accumulated that in a batch. That's not real time. So those
So-
are the differences. Questions?
Yeah, if you were to work on commission,
Yeah.
does that mean that you'd be working in like real time?
No, because first of all, on commission, it depends on the commission versus when I'm going to get paid. So let's say I made a sale, I'm on commission. Let's say the sale just came right now, right? I get paid on commission. I sold $100 and I get 10%, right? So I got $10, right? But probably what they're going to do is they're not going to, as soon as I make that sale, they're not going to send me that check in real time. They'll say at the end of the month or at the end of the week or every 2 weeks. right? So that real time, it happens automatically all the time. I get money in my system. They may record it in real time, Amelie, that as soon as we could be selling whatever. I'm selling scarves, for instance, and you're my promoter, right? I'm the manufacturer. Every time that you sell my scarf, I'll give you 10%, right? I accumulate that and then I send you the check. So it depends on if it's recorded in real time, that's one, right there on the spot, versus batching, when I'm talking about batching all those processes together, right? Or at the end, once we get all our sales, then I'll tabulate yours. We don't know. You see the difference, Amelie? Versus when I get the check when I get the money in my bank account, or in what Louisa said, in her debit card. She's not, as she's working, she's not at every post she does, right? How are you going to record your hours? Do you know, Louisa? How are you going to be, or are you being charged by the post?
No, I have like an amount of hours per each day that I'm gonna work.
Okay, so she could be able, you could make it say, hey, I'll pay me by the post, every 1,000 posts, right? Or by the hour. She decides that with her employer, Amelie, but it's the idea of when they're going to be posting it, how it works. Does that answer your question, Amelie?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, my pleasure. So the same thing here on what do they mean by transaction? We have no idea. When we're in the store, all we know is we buy, or when I'm online, I buy something, right? And then it gets shipped to me. I deliver it, or I download something, or I subscribe to something and I get my service. So basically, this event or that transaction here, that simple thing, basically goes in a transaction processing system. And I need, who needs these detailed reports? Not the customer, right? Management needs these. If you're in charge, Louisa, you needed it for the marketing, you needed a certain one. If you're Amelie, you're the human resource manager, you need it. And if Andres is the CFO, he needs it. And if Damien was the CEO, he needs something. And they may be detailed reports depending on my job. But it all goes, it's always cylinder. I just want to show you what kind of how they look at it. It's always cylinder on these organizational databases. And that databases is many organizations in the company need this data, but they share that data. They share some of the data, they may do others of the data. That's how they go about doing it. So it's all these different types of systems, whether it's accounting, right, and controlling, whether it's human resource, HR, right, are using it. So basically, when we think about it, all together, it comes out to what they call enterprise resource planning. A lot of times they give it as the acronym ERP. Everything's an acronym here. And we talked about it already, of course, right? Enterprise means what? Damien, what does enterprise mean? Are we have a university and enterprise?
Yes, it's like a
Yes.
business.
It's a large business with many different departments as an enterprise. Do we have a lot of schools, Amelie? Of course we do. We have the School of Business, we have the School of Law, we have communications, we have the medical school, all of these together. And what does it mean? I have to plan. What does planning mean? Looking at the back? No, planning means looking at the future. The university, guess what? They got to figure out their budget. They got a lot of expenses. You think this university doesn't have a lot of expenses? They have, besides salary. Have you ever looked at the university, how pretty it is, all those grounds? What does it take to just even do that? They got to do the cleaning. They have a medical school. Can you imagine all those machines, everything that they have? Basically, they have to plan in the future. And how can I plan as that enterprise? And sometimes give me information that only belongs to what? You remember how I always like to say, need to know? I need to know my salary. I need to know my benefits. We're a private university, so they don't even share formally a lot of information. They don't have to. Some public universities have to, but they have it. But I need to know. I also have rights. I get payroll. Payroll is part of what they call also an enterprise resource planning that I go to basically pay my TAs. If, for instance, you're my TA next semester, you'll be part of that where I supervise. You have to record your hours worked. And guess what? You'll be paid every 2 weeks. I don't know what. You'll be paid a certain amount. That's in batch processing, but that's together. So this you can think about is that enterprise resource planning then basically has the entire organization look at its customers. At a university, our customers are really what? Who? Students, right? If I'm the medical school, right, and I have the health center, it's my patients, my suppliers. Can you imagine all the suppliers supplying from food to hardware, my distributors, all my relative and parties? Guess what? I have to keep track of it. And if I look at this is something why I wanted to use chapter 5 again, because what is this? Cylinder. And what did I say was in the cylinder, Amelie? A database. What is the database? All my data that's connected with all those, what? With all those records, those fields, right, that connect. And in this case, it's ERP, the enterprise. And what makes up the enterprise? Human resources, right? What makes up the enterprise? My customers, right? What makes enterprise? That my e-business, right? My commerce. What makes enterprise? Anything that I'm using business intelligence for, forecasting, my supply chain, who's bringing me in goods, my accounting, my finance, my manufacturing, if we have it, or my production. This is the core. So what happens here, if I look at it, the one that Miami uses is called Workday Miami. Workday, look at this. I have to, what does it ask me, Amelie? It's sent, they want me to get into where all the payroll is. What do they want from me? Extra security, right? So I have to put a code. Do I care about, I'm broadcasting now, do I care about giving this code out? No, because it's going to change each time. So I'm not giving my password out. It's giving me success here. And what is it? It's going to be an enterprise resource planning. And notice what it says, myworkday.com, Miami D home. So what did Miami do? They purchased software that's what? Software as a service. What does that mean? Anders is what? That it's in the cloud, right? They're providing that service for me. And this is going to be specific for myself. Tells me the date. It tells me I don't have anything in action now. It's really HRM, and it gives me, here's my team of my TAs that I am paying, that I'm supervising for my account. And notice here that Daniel's my first one, right? And then it tells me on the university, since it's HRM, hey, you need a flu? Do you need any manager? What about all your awards that you won, Dr. Rushenick? What about some personal information? We have to keep it up to date. And what about your health benefits and all? This is what? This is a Workday, right? Which is a vendor that's popular in a number of ways. And guess what? We've customized it. They have a template kind of, and they probably even have university, which is way in common, is an industry, and not even higher ed. And notice they have people here on campus that work with what? Workday, that basically say, hey, let's put in a picture of here, right? Almost like a website. We put it in, and it's going to be what? Personalized. Now, I have roles here. I have my payroll information here. If when Daniel works for me, Amelie, and he basically has to keep track of the hours worked, he then submits every 2 weeks the amount of hours he worked. So Amelie, this is a great question for the exam. Is that batch or is that online?
Batch.
Batch, of course. He does it every 2 weeks. Does he? He may be working even right now for me, right? Setting something up. He's not getting paid every minute, putting it in his account. So that's going to be batch. That's going to be. And if I look, this is for you, Andres. If I just look at Workday, not Miami.com, we didn't rehearse that. This is a major platform, and look what they say in the first lines. Anders, the AI first platform for HR, human resources, and finance. 2 months ago, they didn't even have this as their first step. Why are they doing that, Anders?
Because AI is trendy.
Yeah, of course. And they think to themselves, are you and think about what is their platform? Does it lend itself for agents? Andres, of course does. Is there a lot of things that can be repetitive right there? Yes. Does it take a number of steps where I have to fill out some form, right? To when I have to onboard my new faculty members? Do you think that takes time? Of course it does. Do I want to spend time? Do they want to even do it? So look at this. Workday is the only platform. I love it. The only. You can tell this is marketees, right? Louisa, you're in marketing, right? That's marketing only. I wouldn't go. I wouldn't trust that, right? Platform that unites what? HR and finance to keep businesses moving forward. Now you can think, I can tell you that probably AI wrote part of this, doesn't it? Because it tells us a lot of words that I'm not sure what they actually mean, but it sounds good. Are you ready to fundamentally transform how you manage your people and money? Because we are. And then they say, view a demo, why Workday? And notice here, look at this. This looks like this. These pictures. What do you think, Louisa? Could these be AI generated? Probably. Hey, I want a young woman, right? Give her some curly hair. Maybe I'm not sure what ethnicity she is, right? I want a guy, right? An older guy. He needs to look smart, put some glasses on him, right? Give him a little, I don't know if he has a little gray hair in his beard, right? He has a suit. She doesn't, right? And look, empower your people and adapt workforce to the future of your work, drive innovation, manage costs, and make smarter finance decisions. Definitely, I want to make finance decisions. I'm not sure what smarter means. I think the AI probably read that. Transform entire business processes with our next generation of AI. You see, so my way in reading even that chapter 10 for you is if I asked you, Louisa, what do you think the trend is going to be on enterprise resource planning? Is definitely that AI trend, right? Of basically working. And I didn't even write anything. Work enabled, right? To do routine work more efficiently. That's what the ERP originally tried to do, but now this is going to put it on steroids. This frees us up to do, and I like this statement, that frees us up to do the next acquisition, to work on the next business strategy, to provide better analytical work to our business partners. They don't say we are going to eliminate employees, do they, Andres? But that's probably what we can do. That's what everybody's afraid of in those organizations. I was in charge of Workday. I got a job for Workday. Does this mean they're going to eliminate 20% of us? And I say maybe. But maybe some of those others will then train people now how to use all those agents. Because guess what? Now, all this AI, it just doesn't happen instantaneously. I still have to prompt it. I still need to write those agents, right? How we move forward. And then another one that is part of those enterprise was Salesforce, right? And if I, guess what? I type in Salesforce, that used to be what we call CRM, the same kind of thing. This was this guy that started that used to work with Oracle. And then he basically came and he was the first one to say, hey, let me use it web, let me use it mobile. And basically, look at it. CRM stands for Customer Relation Management. So, guess what? Salesforce has a higher education module, Andres, that basically looks at students. Because what? Students for universities are their customers. What do we want? We want to keep track of our students from the very beginning of their journey when they come and they start looking at our university, to when they're students, how to keep retaining them. Because once we've invested in them, do I want them to leave us, Amelie? In year 1, year 2? 1, I don't like it for my reputation. 2, I don't like it. Are we doing something wrong? And 3, I lose a lot of, I hate to be so crass, but I lose a lot of revenue. You stop after year 1 and go somewhere else, I've lost you. Plus, I lost you because of social media. If you say, hey, I wasn't happy with this university, right? So in this case, look at this. Salesforce is the same thing. They're competing with others. And what do they say? Connect all your data. Is that why I want it? With all your teams, all on one integrated. That's why I want the enterprise AI-driven platform. Get started today with our starter suite, all in one CRM for your business, scale seamlessly. Does that sound like cloud, Damien? Sure does to me. As you grow on demand, however large you grow, humans with agents. Look what they say here. Because what they are a lot of times my chats, my people that I get on my contact centers. What if you were working, if you were the head of your contact management centers, Louisa, what would your agents be most worried if you told them, hey, AI is coming? I'm losing my job, wouldn't they? You could have one person listen to 10 conversations, and when they didn't know the answer, then they could interfere. Humans with agents, notice they put that in, drive customer success together with the #1 AI CRM. Companies with that, look, they put Wiley there. We know Wiley. Companies with every description bring CRM data. I want analytics. That's why I want to do it. I want you to be able to forecast. My agents on Salesforce to make, they like copy each other. Did we hear this before, Amelie? Smarter decisions. I don't know what smarter decisions are, but they always put smarter decisions, drive off automation, and grow revenue. And then they give me meet agent force, what AI was meant to be. Boost productivity. So that's why it's great, Andres and Amelie, your domain name, right? Boost productivity and your bottom line with customizable AI agents. This is what everybody wants. I want it customized to my business, not give me generic chat GPT that's not on my data, that assists with everyday tasks and take action. Calculate your ROI, smart, simply, see results, email marketing, use AI. Isn't this great, Louisa? Email marketing. Use AI to create segments, draft a campaign brief. You want to waste your time drafting a campaign brief? No, I don't. Draft it, and then what can you do? Tweak it. Build the campaign. Write an email, all in just a few minutes. So this is tremendous if you know how to use it. And then if you have people with smarts to look at it and say, it's just not right. But guess what? If you give it just not right, you know how to prompt it, then it gets better too. Lead contact, service case, reporting. These are not the only ones. By need, by industry. Look at the industry. Guess what? Education. Learn more. Enhance the entire education with agent force. So these education leaders, so they put up these leaders. Notice the leaders they put, if I'm a community college, they put a community college in. If I'm a school one, look what they're telling me. Tell me numbers. Increase student enrollment, rise in first-year retention rates. Wasn't that what we were talking about? Louisa, I want to retain them. Growth in fundraising. What do I want? All you guys that graduate, you're going to make billions, right? I want to fundraise in legacy environment, see what's new in education. Trusted AI for education. This is the key here that Salesforce really has emphasized. Explore the CRM solutions, student success, recruitment, advancement, relations. So they have little lifelong learning. I can sell you this now. You see this, Louisa? Because guess what? After you graduate, you think you're finished learning? Of course you're not, especially when you think about AI. Think about when you graduate versus what's going to change in AI. It's hard enough, right? So they say, hey, we'll give you lifelong learning and we'll accelerate with AI-powered engagement, retain lifelong learners, develop a modern storefront experience, blah, blah, blah. So that's the key. Questions? So that whole area of enterprise resource planning is going to be turned around with generative AI, and that's what they're all working on. Whether it's Salesforce, whether it's Workday, whether it's IBM, whether it's going to be Oracle or any of the other vendors. And guess what? This is a time where disruptors can come in and say, you have these legacy systems, Andres, that Salesforce is still bulky. There may be, just like Salesforce came in and replaced that Oracle, I bet you there'll be other companies in there that say, hey, we can do this quicker and better and cheaper. And that's how, that disruption, and that's what's exciting about it, of all those guys. Questions? Everybody understand where we're going and why I'm excited about you guys doing those projects? And then think about your social media in the exact way. I don't care if you're doing your ideas for that marketing or anything else. Think about your social media. Even try out some of these out and use these, and even put a quote there that you're done by Amelie. What you don't even have to be embarrassed by it, because you're basically selling your services done by video to the blog there, and you put that. In this case, video. This is what everybody, I want you to then make a note there. Ricardo, did you make a note of this? Video to blog.ai. And that'll be great on your system as well. I don't care, anybody's can use it. And let me know how it turns out. It sounds great, but the devil's in the detail, as I always say. So on Wednesday, we'll also share with each other what we've done. And let me do attendance. $13.98. You want to put that, Amelie, in the chat also?
Yeah.
People don't see it. So stay with me if you have questions. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to see what your next step is. And Louisa, I think that's fantastic, bringing that up. And then what the beauty is, then you can take this and then you can even get more gigs from it. And then basically you can have the agency, and then you can hire other people. You say, you know what, all I need is a supervisor to hire, because you can use a lot of this Gen AI for your clients. Or even teach some of those. Don't even be, because I know some of these now, these agencies are having a hard time. Their clients say, why do I have to pay you so much now? You're just using AI. You're doing it where it used to take you an hour to do something. Now you're doing it in 2 minutes. Why am I still paying you the same amount? So it may be a way in which there needs to be disruption in some of these agencies where somebody can come in and cut them out in half because they say, hey, we don't have to charge, by that hour, because our hour, we can do 10 times more as much, so these are all changing. Then marketing is like the key here, I think, in so many ways, right? Of being taking advantage because everybody is into that space. Okay, so it's 1398. I'm gonna stop sharing and then let me shut down my recording. I'm gonna stop recording because what? Need to know, right? We always talk about in this class.